Hello and welcome to Superpower Broadcasting. I'm Kevin Castley. Thanks for being here tonight. Tonight, we are going to be talking about the election and predictions for what's likely to unfold tomorrow. I've said before, I've said it for a long time. I think that, Biden has a clear advantage. I still think that Donald Trump has a somewhat decent chance of actually winning. 538 right now has Biden with a 90% chance against Trump. I think that that's a bit too optimistic. I think that, Florida is basically within the margin of error. Trump is behind in Pennsylvania. But, I mean, that's the thing is you don't really know. So we can go through a bit of what they're showing on 538, for example. So we might be joined as well pretty soon by Henry. I was on Henry's show earlier. We were talking about predictions for tomorrow and whatnot. This is going to be kind of a shorter stream, ideally, because I'm going to be covering the election tomorrow. And that's obviously going to be a long stream. Henry's in the chat. How's it going, Henry? Anyway, we can take a look at 538. But yeah, how's everybody doing tonight? Henry says fill out the map, Kevin. I haven't actually played around with any of those election maps or anything. Henry, did you actually fill out your own map, or are you just going off of somebody else's? So I've got 538 on the screen right now. I'm just going to remove the hawk here, and we can take a look at that. So they're showing that Biden's basically got, 89, 90% chance against Trump with a 10% chance. These are their, Monte Carlo type simulations, 40,000 simulations right there. They obviously give Biden with a very clear advantage going into this. But we could take a look at some of the swing states. So Georgia's actually, this is interesting. Obviously, it's within the margin of error. But Georgia's actually leading towards Biden. North Carolina, slight lead for Biden. Florida, yeah, see that's a statistical tie. But yeah, Florida's crucial. Arizona, yeah, I mean, it's still within the margin of error, but obviously slight lead for Biden. Pennsylvania, they've got Biden now. Yeah, about 5 points up. That's still right around the margin of error, but we got Henry here. How's it going, Henry?
Hey, what's up, man?
Yo. So did you fill out your own map, or are you going off other people's maps?
Oh, I filled one out on it's out there on Twitter. I put it out there. There's a site you can go to. I can't remember what it was, but it comes preset basically with essentially what all the predetermined polls are projecting, and you can alter it. Maybe I can send you a link to it, but yeah, no, mine didn't differ very much from the projections, other than I called Florida for Trump. I called Arizona, toss up. Said it wasn't for Biden, and I called Georgia for Biden. So. Are you still there, man?
Oh, hi. Yeah, boomer moment. I forgot I had muted my mic. Okay.
We lost you for a second.
Yeah, no, we lost me for a second. I was just saying to the audience who couldn't hear me because I had my mic muted that I'm gonna put Mike's map on the screen. I just need to get that. I got it from his Twitter. I'm just going to upload that to StreamYard so we can take a look at it because he filled out one. And
I'll put I think this is the link to the map, interactive map I used. I'll put in the private chat.
okay.
I think that's it. If you wanted to fill it out for us live on stream.
270 town or 270 to win. 270 to win. There we go.
I'm not sure. That's the link. I think that's the one I use. I don't really know.
270 to win. Yeah, I'll take a look at it for sure.
Oh, no, that is the one I used. I filled it out. I'm looking at my Twitter now. I basically did. I kept all the presets. I just called Florida as leaning toward Trump, Georgia leaning toward Biden. I called Arizona a toss-up and left everything else the same, I think. Well, I nudged Texas because they had Texas as leaning towards Trump. I put it likely to Trump.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll take a look.
Makes no difference in the final calculation, really. But I think it's likely. But
so this is what Mike filled out, and that's 270 to win. Yeah, he had Florida as indeterminate, North Carolina as indeterminate, and Arizona as indeterminate. But he gives Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan over to Biden. I think gives Trump rather Texas and Georgia. Yeah, you know what? We'll fill this one out. Yeah, no, Sally. I unbanned Sally earlier tonight. Sally's not banned, so.
Oh, Sally's here. Nice.
Sally's here for the first time in a long time. So that's right. So that's what Mike has filled out here. So I'll screen share to 270 to win. So yeah, I'm just looking at it right now. Okay, so you basically
is this Mike's map?
Yeah, that I've got on screen right now. I'm just figuring out how to play around with the app. And then once I figure it out,
you select I'll look at it, but you select basically you punch one of the colors. It's likely, leaning, or solid, and then you select the state that you want to designate as leaning or likely or toss up too. Toss up's the brown color.
Gotcha. So I've that explains it. Then I'm just gonna figure out for Nebraska, then I guess you split it up. Okay,
that's interesting. Mike had no toss-up states. He filled everything in.
Oh yeah. Well, he has Florida and North Carolina and Arizona on the screen.
I had Florida as going for Trump. I left some toss-ups.
Okay. Well, we'll take a look at 270 to win. I'll just let's see, bring that up. 2020 presidential election interactive map. So let's see here. Okay, there we go. Bunch of ads on the side. That's annoying.
Yeah.
But whatever. Okay, so this is it when it's preset. Okay. We're gonna do Florida. Florida, I'm gonna have likely for Trump. Georgia, I'm gonna have.
You realize there's so you're calling Florida what you just said it as is basically the most likely for Trump. There's multiple. So you think it's solidly Trump?
Well, no, I'm not saying it's safe. It's just this idea that Biden's like, oh, like, no, like, if you ask me right now, like, to put money on it, who's going to win? It's like, it's going to be Trump for Florida. That's kind of my reading. Like, watch me be totally wrong about this. It's just,
I called it that too, but you called it. I put it in the light pink.
Oh, the light one, yeah.
Yeah, there's different levels here to get the feel of this website.
Yeah,
is all I'm saying.
What you're saying. I see what you mean.
You have 3 different levels on the right and the left, and then the brown is neutral. That's just right. I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go light pink or light red for Florida. We're gonna go safer for Texas for Trump. Georgia, we're gonna have light red. It's crazy how close it is in Georgia, though, but I still think that Trump's going to win it. North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina. That's the sort of thing that you would typically expect the Republicans to win. I'm leaving that as a toss-up. Ohio, I'm going to give to Trump. Pennsylvania, I'm going to have as a toss-up. Iowa. Oh man. Let's think about this. So for Iowa there, because Iowa is a default, they have as 538 has Trump with a 60% chance of victory. But like I always feel like it's gonna go Republican. Like, I don't know. It's somewhere between that and that. So I guess we'll go with this one. As far as Michigan, on the other hand, yeah, Michigan, you could say, yeah, leans Biden. Wisconsin one's a tough one. They've got on 538 for Wisconsin right now. They basically give it like 100% chance to Biden. They've got averages and whatnot, have him up about 8 points there. So yeah, he's probably going to win it. I guess it's fair to say. Wisconsin, on the other hand, Wisconsin is the sort of thing that, let's see what the current polling is. They actually give basically the same odds to Biden. I don't know. I'm lean Biden. Fair enough. Let's take a look outside of that, though, because Arizona, they've got leaning towards Biden as the default here in terms of the consensus. Arizona right now is altogether, it's a statistical tie, though, is the problem. So for that, I'm going to put Arizona as the toss-up. I think all the other states on here basically make sense, just glancing over it. I don't really think I would edit anything further. What do you make of this map, Henry? Because this one actually means that there's no clear victor with this.
I think it's a reasonable map. The differences between this one and mine, I had set Florida as just like you have it, leaning Trump.
Yeah.
I set Georgia as leaning Biden.
Oh, okay.
And I had set Pennsylvania as leaning towards Biden. I also had Iowa as a toss-up, and other than that, I don't see differences other than those 3 between what I had. So it's pretty close.
Yeah. But you'll notice, so for mine here, nobody has 270 definitively if this plays out with yours, did anybody pass 270?
Oh yeah, Biden won.
Okay.
On mine, he won by a bit. I think he was in the 280s. I'll have to look at it.
Well, Progressive Apostate points out here, we're assuming polling errors will work in Trump's favor. Could just as
Yeah,
easily
I
go
had
in.
Biden at 183. Or no, sorry.
Trump.
I had Biden at 285, Trump at 192. I guess my differences came down to Georgia. I called it for leaning Biden.
Yeah, if we change that. Yeah, if we change that, that alone would
I
get
had
Trump.
Ohio as a toss-up. I had Iowa as a toss-up. North Carolina as a toss-up.
But Arizona you had for Biden?
I had it as a toss-up also.
Toss-up. So if we go to what you're saying here, Biden 275, Trump 192. There was another one that I must have changed on here. North Carolina. Oh, you gave Georgia leaning Biden. You gave Florida leaning Trump.
Georgia, North Carolina, I think, is the big one. And Pennsylvania. I had Pennsylvania leaning Biden.
Biden. There, that's how you get it. 295 to 192. Okay. Yeah. I mean, overall, yeah, it definitely advantages Biden going in tomorrow. But I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, again, it's as far as all this stuff plays out, to Mike's point, we're assuming that the errors work in Trump's favor. I think one of the reasons why that's been the case is because, at least initially back in the last election, there were some people that were kind of like, do I really want to tell people I support Trump in polls and stuff? Whereas now, I guess you could say that effect has largely gone away because people are more proud to support Trump. You know, if they're MAGA, they're not in the closet about it, I guess. But in which case, Mike would say, well, they could just as easily favor Biden. I don't really know if I believe that, though, because there are definitely a lot more like moderate type Republicans that don't really like Trump, and they're kind of ashamed of Trump, but they're going to vote for him because he's their leader of the party. So I feel like it would still advantage the Republicans in terms of the direction of the polling error, but that's just me. So
yeah, I think it's possible. My whole thing is that there is, for me, there's just multiple ways Biden can win this. And I'm not saying Trump can't win. Obviously, it's possible. I think I said it was 10%, so that's 1 in 10. That's not impossible.
Yeah.
that's pretty fucking likely, actually. It sounds like it's unlikely. You know, like say it's 1 in 6. That's a roll of a dice. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's just there's more ways Biden can win. And again, that's if we're accepting the polling data as being accurate. I know a lot of people don't, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, a lot of people won't, but they'll say, you know, what about 2016? My view on the whole 2016 thing is that, by and large, the polls were pretty accurate. They had Hillary up about 3 points in the national polling on average, and she won by a couple million votes or whatever. They had Donald.
It's more about specific states, though.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. Mike says, yeah, but 9 and 10 is still 9 and 10. Yeah, I don't really believe it's 9 and 10, but Henry's still right there that, you know, could still go for Trump. But both of us have said that Biden has the advantage going into this. So,
yeah, according to the polls, and like everyone on the left and the right has said, we don't know if they're accurate. Like the 2016 showed us, and honestly, it's not that the polls necessarily were wrong. because I think they were saying it was a 1 in 6 chance. It was a straight up roll of the dice in 2016, and Trump won, and it was very narrow in a lot of the states. So it goes into other factors. Like for me, I've said I think Biden's going to win back the Rust Belt states, and I think if he does that, I think he'll win. I think it only takes it takes Trump losing certain key states where it's just over. I think if Trump loses Florida, I think it's done.
Yeah.
And I said it, Florida, leaning towards Trump. I think he will win Florida again, but I don't think he's going to win Pennsylvania. And it's not like I can't give you great arguments to like I could lay it out over some time, but in a short, concise statement, I can't really explain to you why I expect him to win Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wyoming, or not Wyoming.
Wyoming, yeah.
That's where Reese lives. That's going to go for Trump no matter what. Wisconsin was what I was thinking. But,
yeah, Wyoming. Weiss, he's the only guy who's not voting for Trump, I guess. So
yeah, there's actually, like 5 people over there. So
that's right. So Trump's just going to win the state. But yeah, only 2 of those people have internet access. That's him and Yeager. So, oh man.
Yeah, but my expectation is, I don't know for sure. I don't know, but I think my intuition is that Biden will win back the Rust Belt, which is going to be his path to victory. I think he'll win Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin, and if he does that, I think he's going to win it. And I think if he does that, it's kind of locked in. And then there's all the toss-up states, and then there's the leaning states. I think if Trump loses Florida, it's fucking over. I think Trump has to win Florida.
I'll say this though: if he like wins with like 290 or over 300 votes, Donald Trump, people are not going to trust polling ever again. Probably though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what else are they going to do? I guess is the thing. Yeah. I've heard that as well, which I kind of get because I kind of almost don't trust it myself after it was so wrong. But like, what's the alternative? We're just gonna guess ourselves. I mean, I don't think it's gonna go away. I think it'll be around, even if it's catastrophically wrong. Twice in a row. We don't have anything else to go on. So if the polls are wrong, if they're rigged against Trump or something, there's really not much else we can speculate on.
Yeah,
that's all we've got. So I don't know. I mean, maybe we would just ignore it and go with our gut instincts and crowd sizes, I suppose, enthusiasm, things like that. But
yeah, I think W.R. Winter has an interesting comment here. North Carolina for Biden, not a chance. But like just looking at 538 for North Carolina on the average of the polling that they're giving here, got 10 polls listed. He seems to be up by about 3 points or so against Trump on average.
They have it as a toss-up, as far as I know.
Yeah, they've got Biden with a 64% chance. The thing is, Trump could still definitely win it, but I don't think it's not a chance. I think it's possible that I think it's very possible that it could go for Joe Biden. So.
Yeah, I think part of the thing with regard to how we trust the polls, it might go into just like expanding the margin of error, because like I think the classical margin of error is 3 points.
3 points.
I've come to view it as 5 points. Basically, if it's within 5 points, it's playable. and so maybe that'll be expanded more in the future. Like it's because
Yeah.
there's certain states where I think we just know, like California is going to go for Biden,
Yes.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. New York's going to go 100%. I think Texas is 100%. I like came off more lightly on it because of the polls. I said it's not locked in. I didn't go as far as the presets. I said it's likely versus leaning. Leaning being more soft. Uh, I just don't see Texas going blue, at least within the next 10 years. I think eventually it will, but not within the next 10 years. I don't think. For a presidential election, anyway.
Yeah. I can just see it down the road if the polls get bungled continuously. You'll have like a poll out for the 2028 election, and it'll be like Nikki Haley leads Kamala Harris in Texas by 2 points with a margin of error of 48 points. And you're like, what? Because you're right. You're right. Normally it's 3 points, but I can see what you mean about 5 due to additional
I tend to take it as 5. That's my new standard anyway.
But if it ever was like, oh yeah, the typical margin of error is like 35 points, then yeah, polling's done at that point.
Yeah. Anyway, man, I'm about to jump out, but I'll probably jump in on your stream tomorrow. I think you're going to do like a full day of coverage. So I'll probably jump in on that at some point.
Yeah, no, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. StreamYard is capped at 10 guests, but some will come and go and whatnot. So you're definitely invited on.
You're expecting more than 10?
Throughout the day, probably, but we can only have 10 on at a time. So
holy shit.
We'll see what
like your biggest stream ever.
Well, longest stream ever. My longest stream ever was 6.5 hours, the one that you and Reese and I did. And that one was pretty funny. That one was pretty long. We were talking about like the coronavirus for a long part of it. We talked about that Thomas Hall dude literally uploading uncensored porn of himself to like that. Yeah, that guy. That guy's a wacko. That guy
self-owning.
That was ridiculous. Tomorrow we'll probably have a lot more viewers and stuff too. But Progressive Apostate says, dude, make it your biggest stream ever. Well, it's like I can make it the longest stream ever, but it's up to the people to make it the biggest stream ever. Because like
you guys gotta get it's like you gotta get out and vote.
Yeah.
You gotta get out and watch. You gotta
get out and watch. Like, don't even go to the polls. Don't even go to the polls. Just like watch here the whole time.
No, go to the polls too.
Yeah.
That's
go
important.
To the polls too. Go to the polls and watch this on your phone. Do that. Do that while you're voting. But because we got a lot of competition. Obviously, Dylan Burns is going to be streaming. I think Basket's going to be streaming.
Are you still doing a debate with him?
I am. Yeah, it looks like we were talking today. It's probably going to be Monday. So like in 6 days, we'll be debating on North Korea. So that's been like 5 months in the works or 4 months in the works. So yeah.
Sounds good, man. All right, I'll like I said, I'll probably hop in at some point. If you're going all day, I'll probably hop in there.
Progressive says make it as inflammatory as possible.
Yeah, man. It's getting late for me, so have a great night. I guess in closing, I'll say I do predict Joe Biden will win, but I think it's possible Trump could win too, and I think it's also likely we're not going to know who the fuck won by the end of the night tomorrow. Honestly, that's a very high possibility. We're not going to know who's won, which is terrifying, but it's a possibility. Unfortunately,
that's right.
Anyway,
I think the most unlikely possibility tomorrow is that within an hour, it's just clear Donald Trump won 412 electoral votes.
Yeah.
It's over. That's not happening. So it's going to be close,
You, man. Have a great. Thanks for having me on, man.
Oh yeah, anytime, man. Have a good night, and hopefully we'll see you at some point in the stream tomorrow. I'll probably start streaming because you're 2 hours ahead of me. I'm probably going to start streaming between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. Pacific.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So yeah, and then we'll go probably about 8 hours with the election, and then of course, like we said on your show earlier, after that we'll do a stream to cover the burning of America,
During the riots. Yeah.
when the far left comes out and whines and cries, regardless of who wins. So,
all right, man. Well, yeah. Have a good night.
You too. Peace. Well, that was Henry there. Everybody go follow his channel on YouTube. That's American Madhouse, and subscribe to him, or I should say follow him on Twitter at American Madhouse with no A. So Progressive says, by the time you start streaming, the polls are going to be almost closed. No, I'm streaming way earlier tomorrow, man. Nicholas says, Biden needs to win Florida and or North Carolina for us to go to bed. So who's everybody in the chat rooting for? I know Son of Bush is rooting for Trump. But yeah, it'll be a long stream tomorrow. And like I said, there's going to be competition. Obviously, like Burns is going to be streaming. Vosh is going to be streaming probably. Pacman's going to be streaming. CNN's going to be streaming. But you know, you want to watch it here, man. You want to watch this on Superpower Broadcasting. Kirk Wilcox is here. He says, Biden. How's it going? How's it going, Kirk? Nicholas says Biden. Mike says Biden's good. Yeah. Biden, but Republicans keep the Senate. Yeah, I hope McSally wins, but it's probably not going to happen in Arizona. The Babylon Project says Biden. Kamala G rooting for Biden. So it looks like Son of Bush is the only one who's rooting for Trump, because he was saying that Wyoming Weiss is a traitor for not voting for Trump. Yeah, I don't really have too much else to add. So Kirk Wilcox says, pretty good, Kevin. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'll be streaming tomorrow for like probably 8 hours, and then we'll stream the riot afterwards. Because we all know there's going to be a clear riot. Like Henry and I both agree. Let's say Biden wins. The far left, Antifa, they're going to come out and riot and burn stuff down. Let's say Trump wins. The far left, Antifa, they're going to come out and burn stuff down. So W.R. Winter says, rooting for a clear win, either Trump or Biden. Yeah, I can see that. I could see that. That makes like the division and all that kind of stuff less apparent and less justified if it's not, if it's a clear mandate. So Progressive Apostate says, I'm not against voting Republican on principle, but the MAGA wing must die. Oh yeah, no, we're done. We're done with the paleo morons. We're done with the isolationists. Let's get real leaders in charge. Let's get people like Nikki Haley. Let's get people like Colin Powell, those kinds of people back in the Republican Party and start winning, start taking dubs. Nicholas says, Kevin, if Biden wins, you might see your viewers window to go and watch Kyle's meltdown. No, we're gonna screen share Kremlin Kyle's meltdown to this show for sure. You don't have to leave. We can watch him on this channel whining and crying. It's going to be great. Because if Biden wins, yeah, that's right. If Trump wins, he's going to be like, oh, yeah, see, I told you they should on Bernie. But Biden's probably going to win. And then when Biden wins, he's going to be fuming and dooming, worse than the Iraq War. Because for the rest of his life, the progressives aren't going to be able to say, hey, look, man, Bernie would have won. No, apparently Biden won. So Kirk Wilcox asks 8 hours. Yeah, probably longer. Probably longer because we'll cover the riots too. Stream snipe Kyle. Oh yeah, the Russian cow, he'll get stream sniped. We're definitely definitely going to be making fun of Kremlin Cow tomorrow. So Mike says he's going to be on too. Yeah, no, for sure. We're going to have a few people here. Obviously, like Reese is invited. We'll see who comes in, Wyatt's invited, but he's probably going to be busy. Progressive says, you know who I want to see cry? Tim Pool. I don't really follow Tim Pool that much. I know he's like basically Civil War dude, but Kirk Wilcox says, I agree, $100 with Progressive Apostate. I voted for Biden today. Voted all Republicans down tick in California. Hoping it sends a message that I'm open to voting GOP, but reject Trump. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. By the way, I want Biden to win, just so everybody's clear. I want Biden to win. I'm just not as certain it's going to happen as a lot of the polls are. Progressive Apostate says, and neckbeard Jimmy Dore, absolutely. 100%, not 100%. 100%. Yeah, there we go. 100%. Well, yeah, I'm going to wrap this up now. Be streaming a long time tomorrow. So everybody be sure to come and check out the stream, and we'll see what happens. Bring on Wyatt. Yeah, no, Wyatt's invited. It's just he's part of the National Telegraph, and they're probably going to be doing their thing too. So, but like I said, I'll be streaming for a while, so we'll have a bunch of different guests. Kirk Wilcox is California. Yeah, so we're both on the left coast. But yeah, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me over on Twitch, links in the description below. And if you want to support what I do, check out Patreon, patreon.com/superpowerbroadcasting. And if you want to send, some support and tip, you can check out my PayPal. Once we hit $100 a month over on Patreon, I'll be doing double the content. We'll have daily pre-recorded videos premiering to YouTube, plus the daily live streams. So we're at $69 right now, so pretty close. Let's keep it going. Huge thank you to the existing patrons. You guys are awesome. And same to the PayPal gang. Keep on rocking in the free world. So have